Hello, hello. We're talking today all about transformation. I have been really excited by the idea of being able to get your own transformation because of the work that you put in, because of the feelings you come up against, and because of the thoughts you think. So today I'm talking to you all about how I get my own transformations all the time on a regular basis that takes my life from just average to everything that I want it to be. And I'm always working towards that. So I'm sharing that with you and how you can do that too, as well as how I just got called out in front of hundreds of people and what that means for me. So if we have not met before, hello, my name is Tanessa. I'm a life and weight coach for women. I help them drop the physical weight and then the mental weight that comes along with it, because all of that drama is what's really slowing us down. So when I say transformation, I'm talking about taking a result that you're getting now and getting you a different result. So a transformation might be you're able to get past cravings, or you're able to have the donuts at the office at work and you're able to say no confidently. Or a transformation for you might look like you're losing 20 pounds. Or a transformation for you might be like, I'm able to stand up for myself and confidently speak my mind. Or I grew my business. Or I had a mindset shift. Or I figured out something this whole time that I've been trying to figure out. Something that is truly takes your life up a step. Like you can feel an upgrading happening. And I am obsessed with the idea of mini transformations over and over and over again that create a life that you really love. So the way that I love to encourage my clients to experience transformation is through exactly what they don't want to do, is through feeling uncomfortable. Now, every time I talk to either a new client, an existing client, or even work through my own thoughts, we all have our own flavor of negative emotion. Some of us, it's anxiety. Some people it's guilt. Some people, they feel awkward tension. Some people feel overwhelmed and stressed. Everyone has their flavor of negative emotion that they get to deal with, and that is theirs. It comes up over and over again in a variety of situations. So a lot of mine is anxiety and dread and worry. So whenever I see anxiety or worry or overwhelm popping up in my life, it triggers me to be like, this is an opportunity for transformation. This is an opportunity for me to learn. Because here is what most women love to do. We feel our flavor of negativity, and whether that be overwhelm or anxiety or, sadness or pain, and we don't like to feel it because it's absolutely terrible. So we do something to avoid it. And whenever you're trying to avoid feeling crappy, that's called buffering. So sometimes we do it with online shopping. Sometimes we overeat. Sometimes we eat sugar. Sometimes we overwork. Sometimes we just veg out and watch Netflix. This type of buffering always takes us away from what we want to be doing. And basically it's a way for us to not have to feel lousy and bad. And so whenever I start feeling that, I know that this is my opportunity for transformation. This feeling of anxiety inside me means there's something I need to learn on the other side of it. So here is what I went through just 2 days ago that got me one of the biggest transformations I've ever had personally in my life. And it's going to be a great example for how you can get your own too. So I have my own coach right now. Because I always believe in being coached, because I think that we are unable to see our own minds. We're unable to see how we're creating the own results in our life. So sometimes it's really nice to have someone take a look at that from an outside perspective. So I'm part of a coaching program, and I have a wonderful coach. Her name is Stacy Beeman, and she's running a program right now, a 5-week live course called it's called Making Money with the Model. It's specifically designed around business, all right? So during this course, what she does is she calls, there's like almost 800 students in this course, okay? So what she does is she will ask us to submit an application for coaching live. So what this means is that she will pull her students live on camera and coach them on their struggles, their insecurities, their worries, in front of 800 people, plus it gets filmed permanently and stored in her online course for all of eternity, all right? So I want you to already start hearing what these thoughts are going on. And I know that the opportunity is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be coached directly on something like that, on such an amazing experience. I was quite uncomfortable by it, and my brain kept going, well, what if what I need coaching on doesn't serve everyone else? Or what if what I need coaching on, I don't show up enough to give other people results and value? And what if I'm wasting her time? And what if I say something stupid and I get filmed permanently and stored on this server for her course for the rest of my life, and I completely flubbed up and I made a fool of myself. This is what's going through my head. So week 1, I didn't apply for coaching because I was terrified of just looking like a fool or not being able to answer the questions. Like, what if she asks something and I don't know the answer? Like, what if she's asking me something and I freak out? So the second week came up and she asked everyone to apply. And I was like, no. And I didn't apply because I was too scared. And I kept feeling that anxiety and that fear coming up. And I'm like, but Tanessa, there's something to learn here. And I remembered something that one of my mentors once said. She said, your ability or your tolerance level for failure is directly correlated to the success you experience in your life. She said, I know that when I'm teaching a live course or workshop and I ask someone to be coached, everyone's hands who fly up in that room is willing to fail. And I was like, if I want to see transformation results, I have to be willing to be really uncomfortable and risk that failure and experience feeling completely terrible, because there just might be something amazing on the other side. So week number 3, I applied for coaching. So just to let you in on a little bit of something personal in my life, as you guys might know, I'm almost 17 weeks pregnant. And there's a lot of thoughts going on in my head right now about I don't know what my business looks like with a brand new baby who's up needing to be breastfed and crying every hour and a half to 3 hours during the night. I don't know what that looks like. And I have this fear of being so exhausted and not being able to figure out how I can serve my clients and how I can show up and how I can still do these calls with you guys. I can't figure that out, and it's exhausting to me. And that's what I applied to be coached for. And my brain was like, this isn't even useful to other people. There's so few people that are pregnant. There's so many people that apply for coaching. I'll never be chosen, but I applied anyways. And the second I hit submit to be coached live in front of hundreds of people, I thought I was going to throw up. And that is how I knew I was on the right track. Because what I just did was I experienced fear, walked directly into it. I felt, about 5 minutes after that, I felt, what did I do? Did I make a mistake? What if I make a fool of myself? And then I let that just be there. I just allowed myself to feel heart pounding, okay? And you know what I'm talking about when you kind of get hot and you're like, what did I do? And there's regret, and then all of a sudden there's embarrassment. All of this was coming up. I just let myself sit in it. And I was like, oh, this feels terrible in my stomach. I can really feel this right now. In my breathing has gone shallow. My mind is racing. I feel tense and tingly all at the same time. What did I do? And then I just sat in it. And it passed. And that was on Tuesday. No, Monday. It was on Monday. And then today's Wednesday, right? So today, this morning was the call. So I got all ready, I did my hair all normally now, not a crazy ponytail, not a crazy morning ponytail. And I got on, and she said there was 500% increase in applicants this week versus last week. And I'm thinking, geez, what are the chances that I'm going to get called on a topic that doesn't relate to anyone? And guess what? I was her first call, first person that she asked to come onto the call. And I was like, oh God. Oh my gosh. So I was being pulled on to this screen coaching call with my coach to be coached on my biggest struggles and my emotional insecurities in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. But the result of that, do you know what the result of that was? I had a completely transformative moment, and here's what I've learned. And this might apply to you too. So my circumstance is just my business with a baby, but yours might be working a full-time job, having kids, or having other responsibilities, and having to go to the gym and meal prep and eat well, whatever yours might be. My thought I kept going back to is, I'm going to be so exhausted. I am so exhausted. This is going to be so exhausting. I don't know how I'm going to manage all that tiredness. So it made me feel, those thoughts make me feel really anxious. And so she asked me, well, what do you do when you feel anxious? I said, well, I shut down and I don't plan and I don't coach. And she says, well, what's your result? And I said, my result is that I'm exhausted. Because if I'm constantly thinking I'm exhausted all the time, I'm walking around feeling anxious all the time, and I shut down and I don't show up the same way, I feel exhausted now. So my thinking about worrying about being exhausted, 24 weeks from now when the baby has arrived is exhausting me now. So I'm worried about a future that might not exist. And I get to decide what having a baby in a business looks like. Because one of the things that I've learned when you get pregnant, and if you've been pregnant, you'll know, is that everyone wants to share their story. And I love hearing everyone else's stories about what having a baby is like and going through all that stuff. But I also found that you take a lot of that on as just my experience of what to expect after a baby is that you're going to be exhausted, it's tiring, it's hard to manage, you're up all the time. And this was starting to color my experience. So what she started to show me was that I was creating that experience of what that's going to be like ahead of time, instead of showing up in that moment and deciding how it was going to be, how that experience of coaching my clients and having a business with an infant is going to be. I get to decide that. I get to feel exhausted anyways, but not let that be something negative. Let that fuel me, be like, I can be exhausted and have an amazing business and a baby because it's all fun. And I just loved that someone was able to show me that my thinking about what that will be like 24 weeks in the future is not only creating that result then, but it's creating exhaustion for me now, which is causing me not to show up every day the way I wanted to show up. So that is what I wanted to teach you guys today, is that if I'd have stopped when I felt the fear of being judged, of being at not knowing the answer, of not being good enough, of not saying the right things, of not being of value to the other students on the call, if I'd have let that stop me, not only would I not have applied, I wouldn't have gotten that transformative coaching, which really is going to completely change the next 24 weeks of my pregnancy and beyond. But how many women on that call resonated with what I said and it was transformative for them? So what I've learned is that when you start to feel your flavor of negativity, whether that be fear, anxiety, overwhelm, guilt, shame, when you feel that, that is usually a lesson that there is something on the other side, and working through that feeling and feeling it fully anyways and doing the thing that you're scared to do, that is where some of your biggest transformations will ever lie. And I want that for you, because accumulating transformations in your life is not only one of the best things, but it lets you design your life on purpose. It lets you choose what you want your life to look like and work towards that diligently. And that is exactly what I work on with my clients all the time. And it is so amazing to be able to experience my own transformations all the time, but now be able to help women get their own transformations every single day, over and over, whether it's with their marriages, whether they're asking for a raise, whether it's with their children, whether it's with their businesses, whether they're losing weight, whether they're able to say no to a coworker offering them food. These are the moments that make life really, really exciting, when you experience that little leveling up feeling. And that's what I want to offer you guys today, is whenever you're feeling that negativity, I want you to walk right through and know that experience for transformations on the other side. Because really what you learn is that most of our fears never really happen. And the other thing you learn is that those negative feelings that we fear and run away from so much aren't really that bad. And if you're never afraid of feeling a feeling, what else might you do with your life that you're not doing right now? So that's what I have, you guys. If this work really resonates with you and you know that you need those transformations in your life and someone to help you show you your thinking so that you can get results faster, that's exactly what I do. So just reach out, shoot me a message if you want some help, and I'm here for you. We can work together one-on-one and get that happening for you. Have a beautiful day, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.